if somebody spits in their face, they think it's raining. You know those people make it here? It's unbelievable how naive people make it here. But most of us in this room are not that naive. So if you're not that naive, you better be tough. Because if you're not tough, you're not making it here. Anything in between, you're not making it here. Either you're naive or you're tough. Now you can't get more naive. Either you're naive or you're not, but you can get tougher. And if you get tougher, you can make it in this business. You can go through the action of hard work, and we don't have to sugarcoat it. We don't have to lie to people. We don't have to tell people you don't have to work hard. You have to work hard at Primerica, or you're not going to make it. And let me tell you another thing. You not only have to work hard, you have to work hard a long time. And if you tell anybody else anything else, you're lying to them. This is a tough business. Don't sugarcoat that. At least that's my philosophy, okay? The skills. Now, I know I've jumped past the G, but skills. So your skills, what you're going to develop, what you're going to train, like you look at the youngers, you don't have a better, they're known for a lot of things. They're known for their love, for their people, they're known for their integrity, they're known for their marriage, they're known for being just great human beings. But they're also known for being great trainers. Their team are very, very well trained. They're very competitive, but they're extremely well trained. They're very motivational, but they're extremely well trained. So your skill levels, and there's 3 skills. You can write these down if you don't mind, if you're taking notes. The 3 skills that we talk about, let's get based on our philosophy, how we want to build our business, is number 1, we talk about sales skills, okay? And you can't get away from that. We are in the sales business. Recruiting, R. Williams said, is nothing more than a sales process. So if you're good at sales, like we got a guy in our business coming in, Rob Williams, incredible, he's great at sales and securities. And then Rob's decided to make the switch, and I think Glenn Lee's had a large impact on him on this. He's decided to start making a switch from going from just being like unbelievable in securities to maybe doing a lot of things like maybe the insurance side of our house now, but also on the recruiting side. Because if you just sell securities, insurance, and anything else, you can recruit. Recruiting is nothing more than a sales process, right? So you got to get good at your sales skills. Number 2, you got to get really, really good at your people skills. That's kind of in between. People skills like how to treat people, how to love on people, how to maybe, accept people the way they're. I don't like the word tolerate, because people know when you're tolerating them. I think that you got to accept people, you got to embrace people. Your business needs to be all inclusive. So if you're a high A personality, you've got to be able to include and involve and accept, not just tolerate, but accept high S type people. Now, if you're like me, you're a high A personality, high R personality. You want everybody to like you. You want to love on everybody because you're high R. But then when they don't, or they don't perform because you're high A, you want to beat the crap out of them. You start voting. You don't say right. And you get an S or a T around you that want to get all the details and all that kind of stuff. And you just say, screw this. I want to go take over the rules. Like the guy said, he don't know the difference between toilet paper and the shower curtain. And his wife said, so you're the one, right? Some of you guys from New York will figure that one out. But you got to really get good at your people skills. Once again, not just loving on people, but really truly accepting people for the way they are and embracing them for the differences they have. You know, like if I see an organization that's a white organization and all you got is all whites in your organization, I know you have poor people skills. If you're black and all you got is a whole black organization, then I know you got poor people skills. If you're Hispanic and all you got is Hispanic, and I know you got poor people skills. Same thing with Asian, same thing with male, female. See, they say that a sign of a healthy personality is diversification of friends. So if you don't have a diversified organization, something's wrong with your people skills. You need to check on your heart, you need to check on your mind, but something's wrong. And then it progresses into leadership skills. So sales skills, people skills, leadership skills. Obviously, by the way, people skills are incorporated in sales skills, and people skills are incorporated in leadership skills. You can't be a great salesperson or a great recruiter without having great people skills. And you can't be a great leader without having great people skills, right? So these transcend both ways, up and down. But leadership skills, and with leadership skills, we're talking about the ability to move people to events like this, to move people up through the system. And this is, if you don't listen to anything I say today, maybe get this down. If you really, really want to move an organization, motivation. Part of your job as a leader is to move people, both mentally and physically, but you got to be moving them mentally, physically. You got to move them to promotions, always moving people for that next promotion, always moving people to that next contest, always moving people for that next form of recognition, always moving people for that next area of competition. And if you're always moving people that way, I promise you, you're going to be a great leader. People follow people they want to be like, they want to emulate you, which brings to the last point, goals. Goals, G-O-A-L-S. So you got tags, thinking, A, your activity, G, your goals, S, skills. Let's go to goals. Your goal, what you're here for, most of y'all are here to build a business, become wealthy. How many of y'all are like me? You want to get just filthy, stinking, dirty, nasty. I love it when these people come in and say, no, man, you know what? It ain't about the money. Well, it will be. As soon as you realize how weird people are and how perverted people are and how tough people are to deal with, and you'll start getting pretty motivated, okay? And if you don't get money motivated, I've learned this once again, everybody else, our waves told me this, until that changes, you're not going to make it big time. I guarantee you, anybody that ever just tells me, oh, it's just all about, it's not about the money, I guarantee you sooner or later, you're out of here. Because money, even notice this, he doesn't need it. But to build the kingdom, if you're a believer, I'm not trying to preach to you, but to build the kingdom, God chooses to use two things, human beings and money. Doesn't need either one. Would you agree with me? He's still in the miracle business. Satan does the same thing. Uses human beings and money. You just got to decide which side you're on, okay? But money is important. When my pastor comes to our office and asks me to go into the room, we're not going in just to pray about the weather. You know what I know every time he comes over, he's doing? He needs what? Money. Because they need to maybe build a new league, or maybe some kids need some money so we can maybe get them to some camps, or maybe need to buy some buses to bus inner city kids to our campuses. Maybe they need to open up a new mission somewhere. It takes money. There's nothing wrong with being money motivated. Stop counting down. Stop apologizing. Stop asking permission to be rich. That's stupid. Stop worrying about that. Okay? It's not going to change you. Money does not have the power to change you. Money can't change good people into becoming bad. It doesn't have that much power. It doesn't, okay? It's the way you think about everything, right? So now, once you decide your goals, okay, real quick, you only got 1 minute. Once you decide your goals, for me that means, what do you want your team to look like? That's what your goal should be. What do you want your team, the one on the back, not your base shop vice president's team, not Prime America's team, your team. And once you decide what you want your team to look like, to be like, everything else falls into place. You don't have to worry about anything else. Now, here's what you gotta do. You gotta ask yourself, okay, once I decide the type of team I want, a growth team, a competitive team, a big team, an energetic team, a security-focused team, an insurance-focused team, a recruiting-focused team, a builders-focused team. I don't care, whatever you want your team to look like. And you don't have to have it look like somebody else's team. This is your team. After you make that decision, now what you got to do is, you got to decide what kind of players would be best performing on your team. And then the third question you got to ask yourself is, what kind of coach do you need to become to attract and maintain those type of people? Does that make sense? And it all revolves back around to you. Now, once that happens, and I'm finished. Once you understand that, then everything else is pretty simple. Because here's what you do. You always begin, like Covey says, begin with end in mind, your goal, what you want your business to look like. Okay, then once you establish that, then you start backing that thing up. A good title for a good show. Backing the thing up. Okay, for a song, backing the thing up. And then what you do is you start working your plan. You get a plan and you get started. And you just work your plan all the way through, right? And if it doesn't help you get closer to your goals, you simply don't do it. It's really that simple. This is not a complicated business. It's a fun business. You guys truly are the future of the business. I know that I can go back now and tell John and tell Rick, I saw something today that I like. I saw something today that we can feel good about, because the future really has come and the future is now, and you are the future. So I appreciate y'all.